Brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lekter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Morning, everybody. Ollie, alone in Studio 1, 7 o'clock on your Tuesday morning. Sometimes I look in my reflection in the window here when it's dark and early and I haven't done my hair yet, and I look just like my granddad. Not sure how comforting that thought is. I like to think about my granddad. I'm less convinced that at the age of 34 I need to precisely resemble him. Good morning. Coming up on the show today, we're going to talk about burlesque. It's burlesque week. Never been to burlesque before. Tonight might be the night. Even though it's not technically the night, but it's the dress rehearsal for the night, but it might be my night. Stay tuned. Lekter will be in. We will discuss the goings-on of the day. And I wanted to talk very quickly about my hat. Got a new hat. It's my favorite hat. Because the person who gave me this hat left it on the desk in reception here at Cabin Radio yesterday while I was out with a little note. And the note said, I'm paraphrasing now, Ollie, I've left you this hat because I really appreciate the work that Cabin Radio did covering the threat of strike action over the past week. And so I made you this hat. And I think you deserve it. What a nice note that was. Beverly, you're the best. This is my favorite hat. I refuse to stop wearing this hat, apart from just now when I took the hat off. I then looked at my reflection in the mirror and discovered that if I haven't done my hair yet, I look a little bit like my granddad. Which is why I continue to wear the hat. I love you, granddad, but at the age of 34, I need time. That's all I'm saying.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
No doubt, Just a Girl, Mornings at the Cabin, 7:13, Tuesday morning. That would have been a cool band to have been into as a kid. Morning, Lekter.
Morning. I was kind of into them by extension. I didn't own any No Doubt albums myself, but my cousins were really, really into them. And I fancied myself a by extension No Doubt fan.
Close enough. Yeah, in your orbit. Okay.
That's right.
I knew It's My Life, the cover of Talk Classic, and that was it. But
I actually didn't even know that was a cover until I think like a couple months ago.
Yeah, you see, I see it. Talk, 80s synth.
Ah, right. Yeah,
very much.
Right in the wheelhouse.
Very much my prime domain. Bands that could be considered cool, not my prime domain. And speaking of which, this next track, I was looking at what we had lined up in the running order this morning. Wheeler is off for the day. It's myself and Lekter in with you. And I looked at this next artist and I thought, yes, I remember the day when the months that I listened to nothing but this artist. I think it was their debut album, about 2002, 2003-ish, Avril Lavigne. And I could not bring myself to listen to anything other than Avril Lavigne for months.
Would you say you were a complicated young man?
This is going to go on for a while, isn't it? Is this going to turn into the Eagles songs?
I'll try to keep it under control.
Okay, because when this was Eagles songs, like Jesse almost died over here. I've never seen a man come closer to dying from laughing. And I don't want to go that way, Scott. I don't want you to...
Hey, if you don't want a conversation of song title puns, then don't talk about artists, all right? That's... What do you want from me, Ollie? I'm one man.
This is going to be a long morning. So, Avril I listened to for a long time. This would have been fine, but for the fact that my roommate in university was a little less sold on the whole Avril Lavigne thing. He was very much a Johnny Cash fan. He played a lot of Radiohead. He played a lot of stuff that... for like a 20, 21-year-old British guy was pretty like shoegazer, indie stuff, mixed in with some like really old school, the kind of classic rock or that you could sort of, nobody could argue against because like that was...
How big is Johnny Cash in like American country in general among British youth?
There's like, I would say maybe 1 in 20 British youth will sort of find a way to like some of it just as a way of standing out.
Yeah, that seems like a...
Johnny Cash is not a big... I think there's a lot of respect for Johnny Cash in the UK among people who know their music, but I would say it's quite rare to turn up at university and be confronted by someone who wants to play Johnny Cash. But then he was probably saying the same about turning up at university to find someone who wants to play Avril Lavigne and nothing else for months.
Well, part of the Commonwealth, at least.
But then I did discover, we mentioned No Doubt, I did discover Gwen Stefani.
Oh, yes.
After Avril Lavigne, and then I played...
Were you bananas about her?
Yeah, I played the whole... Very good. I played the whole, like, the album that had Hollaback Girl on it, and all that. I played that for months on end as well.
Classic.
So I don't know what was going on around the age of 19 or 20, but I was there was a certain musical vein that I was mining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Gwen Stefani was hot at that time. Yeah, like the early mid 2000s. Like she was already really popular with No Doubt, but then when she went solo, she took it even to the next level after that. And
Yeah.
I mean, Avril Lavigne was huge for around that same time
For
period.
a week. Yep.
Come on now. A week.
Yeah.
It was Complicated for a week and Skater Boy for week 2.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Skater Boy came along.
All right.
Yep, you're right. There were at least 2 tracks.
Don't say see you later, boy, just like that. Come on.
See you later, Avril.
Give Avril some props.
When you were younger, was there a band that lay well outside your traditional like musical forte that you suddenly ended up liking?
Well, yeah, because it was inescapable. Kind of along the same wheelhouse, but a few years earlier, 1997, Aquarium. There was no escaping that album. Every kid within 3 years of I think I was, what would I have been when that came out? 10 or 11. Every kid had that album. Every kid was singing Barbie Girl like there was no tomorrow. It was such a huge album. And I think they're like a Dutch group or something like that.
Something like that. I want to say maybe Danish or something like that.
Yeah.
My mum had the album.
Oh.
She the moment I think she first heard Barbie Girl, and then there was like Dr. Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Jones calling Dr. Yeah, we were sold as a family.
Happy boys and happy girls. How could you not like that?
Weirdly, because of where the hi-fi was in our house, we had like a little speaker system in the kitchen.
Okay.
And so most of our CD listening took place while doing the washing up.
Okay.
So we didn't have a dishwasher. We just sort of family routine. You'd stand there, in the evening and after dinner and just get everything washed up.
Right.
All my memories of listening to Aqua are while doing the drying up.
Ooh.
Because I was never the washer up because I probably just wasn't trusted at the age of of whatever I would have been. Like 14, 15. Yeah. Yeah. It's just clearly not going to get that right. The drying though I could be trusted with the drying.
Yeah.
And so all my childhood memories of Aqua are of meticulously drying cutlery while listening to things like
So not quite as fond as my memories, is what you're saying.
I don't know. Strange to say, that feels like family bonding time. You bond over a good washing up. You see that?
You bond however you can.
That's
I guess.
the curse of the dishwasher, Scott.
It's tearing families apart.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast. Hey, it was early. What do you want from us?
So, burlesque. Dress rehearsal, undress rehearsal, presumably tonight. This will be my first chance ever to go see burlesque.
Oh, really?
I got a ticket for the dress rehearsal.
And you never been before?
Never been before.
Wow. Well, that's exciting. At least someone new is going this year.
Yeah. Hey, I get a chance to actually see the thing.
Yeah.
Have you been before?
Oh, I've been every year.
Have you? Have you really?
Well, I mean, I've been dating one of the usual performers for the last 3.5 years.
All right, yeah, that's the point. I hadn't thought about that. Nicole.
Yeah, so I've been to a couple burlesque shows.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Okay, yeah.
I've been one of those inside track people that everyone else hates.
Get to go backstage afterwards, meet the cast. I see that kind of thing.
After party, all that good stuff.
After party. All right. Like they're back in your box. I just get to go to the dress rehearsal.
You'll have fun.
I'm interested in this whole going to the dress rehearsal thing.
Yeah,
and actually selling tickets for the dress rehearsal.
Right.
I don't know how I feel about that if I was a performer. Because if I was a performer in a burlesque show, I would be a very scared man right now.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for people doing that.
Yep, absolutely.
That is not in my wheelhouse. It's good for you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always thought the point of the dress rehearsal was that nobody got to see that bit, so you could at least screw up quietly in a corner. So I'm interested that the sort of that we sell tickets for the dress rehearsal for this thing, and really you have got nowhere to hide. Get out there and better make that good as well.
Yeah.
But I also feel like this is probably one of the few places in the world where the crowd is going to be 100% forgiving and supportive.
Totally. And the burlesque community has done a really good job of creating and nurturing that atmosphere where, you kind of know what the environment is that you're going into, and pretty much everyone that's there is there to is there with with a positive attitude and just ready for a night of fun and supporting people who are largely their friends on stage performing. So it is a really great, really welcoming and inclusive atmosphere, which I love.
I know that there were plenty of people still making last-minute changes to costumes and getting everything ready last night.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah, I spoke to a few people yesterday who are still working away.
Okay.
Slaving over the sewing machine late into the night, only to take it off during the set. I mean...
It's a little ironic, isn't it?
All right, Alanis. And so, yeah, it's... I'm really looking forward to that, and good luck to you if you are involved in that. It occurred to me today, like, I'm a little tired right now. You know, like, sleep has been at a premium recently.
Right.
I thought, oh, God, how embarrassing if I fall asleep at the dress rehearsal tonight.
That would be a little embarrassing.
Just like 45 minutes in, you could just hear coming from, like, the third row of the
cabin radio
slump
band from burlesque.
Right. Send out some poor person is up on stage, like, giving it their best erotic display and drooling down one side of it. So, in advance, can I just issue an advance apology to the community, to the nation? Should I get defenestrated from Top Night tonight? Because
I don't know if that's going to be. I think you're going to have to just push through. Yeah. Keep yourself away. I don't know. There'll be no coming back from that.
No, I don't think there'll be a whole lot of coming back from that. With that. No, okay, good. So we've established that would be genuinely terrible.
It is cool though that this show, and I mean we all know how burlesque has been hugely popular ever since it started in Yellowknife, and it's really cool that it's gotten to the point where there's that demand for people just want to get in to see the show any way they can, and that they can actually legitimately sell tickets for, like you say, a dress rehearsal where people are still kind of figuring things out for the actual show. You're not even necessarily seeing the 100% polished, finished product. You're just getting in to see it any way you can. And it's got to be such an amazing feeling for the organizers and all the performers that this show is such a hot ticket that people are willing to see, just anything, literally anything about it.
Just get a glimpse. Yeah. Just peek through a doorway just to be able to press your face to the crack in the fence just to be able to see something. It's a marketing triumph. Absolutely. A Temptress, by the way, 6 till 8 tomorrow is a burlesque tribute show as well. So Amazing. It's all burlesque all the time tomorrow, 6 till 8. Make sure you catch that. You can probably catch most of that before you go see the show tomorrow. Is it opening? I guess it's like opening night for real tomorrow. Dress rehearsal tonight.
I guess so, yeah. Yeah, it would be.
Okay, and obviously, as usual with these things, you can't get any tickets. So if you don't already have tickets, then this was a pointless 5 minutes of your life because you just heard other people talking about a nice thing that they'll get to go and do.
How frustrating for you.
Yeah, Mornings at the Cabin.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast was recorded before a sort of live, thankfully not in the studio, audience.
Yesterday evening, I was doing a little bit of filming at the water treatment plant. We got this little video we're putting together with the city. They're trying to get this Smart Cities Challenge money.
Oh, right.
This $5 million for smart streetlights.
Yeah.
And part of it involves water treatment as well, because they can take the same technology that they're going to put in the lights and they want to put it in fire hydrants. And then rather than have people go around Yellowknife all day, every day, trying to find all the leaks, which they do right now, because that's just how leaky our pipes are, they can actually use a system of smart fire hydrants to figure out where the leaks are happening.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool.
That's really
cool.
So
we were doing some filming at the water treatment plant, and I just happened to look up. I had this pointed out to me by Mike, who I was down there filming with, and there's this ginormous fan on the ceiling of the water treatment plant, and if you look closely, and I put the video of this on our Facebook page, if you look closely, it says, printed squarely on the middle of the fan, big ass fans. I enjoyed that.
So this is the name of the company.
This is the name of the company.
Okay.
It's not that the city of Yellowknife just bought the fan and we're like, this is a big ass fan. I decided to write the word big ass fan on it.
You got to label things, right? Just make sure.
No, it was above a whole set of things that just had written on them, really big pipe.
Moderate sized pipes, big ass fans.
Empty expanse of floor, it had written on it. Yeah, they're just very descriptive over at the water treatment plant. They like certainty in their lives.
Creativity, too.
Yeah.
I like it.
This is a company called Big Ass Fans. And the Big Ass Fans website is a treat. is an absolute trick. Yeah, I mean, it's unsurprisingly bigassfans.com. It is a tricky Google. I would recommend.
Yeah, did you Google big ass fans?
That led me to people who were very supportive of large derrieres, but I hastened onward and found my way to big ass fans.
There's no way to properly convey syllables when you're Google searching,
No.
which is a problem when you're Googling big ass fans. But regardless, it sounds like you made it through.
I made it through. I punctuated as best I could, and I got there in the end. And big ass fans. The logo of big ass fans is a donkey's behind, which already is winning points.
Yep.
They have like a full on donkey mascot costume.
Do
as
they?
well? They do. Yeah, you go to the Big Ass Fans website. There's a small button in the corner called Company, and you hit About Us, and you can see the donkey mascot, which I can only begin to imagine what routine that donkey mascot performs, because presumably the donkey has to really show off. I suppose the whole donkey is an ass, but I just worry about what kind of things the Big Ass Fans mascot might get up to, you know? And yeah, their whole website, they got more than 500 employees of Big Ass Fans.
Wow.
They're a big ass company.
Where are they based out of?
I think they're based out of Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Yeah, Big Ass Fried Chicken.
Wow. Big ass fried chicken. Wow. Big ass fans. Look at that.
They've certainly taken this branding opportunity to the max.
Yeah.
You go to their jobs page, it's Big Ass Careers. They got Big Ass Philanthropy for their charitable giving, including the wonderful, the all-time classic line, "Are you a charitable or other tax-exempt organization? Fan-tastic." Like, okay, Big Ass Fans. Okay. And just lastly, you know, every company these days has like the social media icons.
Yes.
Like the little Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You know, come follow us on Facebook. And you're like, why would I follow an industrial fan company on Facebook? and it just says underneath it, it's small writing. They've understated this one. See why customers love Big Ass.
Amazing. I actually just found on their under resources on their website as well. They've got efficiency calculators under big ass calculators. They thought of everything.
They've won the world of fans.
Won the world of fans.
Why would you buy a fan from anywhere else?
From Kentucky to Yellowknife.
Other than Big Ass Fans. Maybe one day. Maybe I was too scared this morning, but maybe one day we're going to give them a call. And I want to give them a call sometime and see what the smallest fan we can get out of Big Ass Fans is.
Oh, there you go.
And say, look, we're giving you a call. We're not sure about this, but we really need a small fan, but from a big ass company.
We might be in the wrong place.
We just can't tell. Are we in the wrong place? So maybe that lies in our future at some point. Anyway, if you happen to own an industrial facility, how can there be any competition? It has to be a big ass fan. Go check out the video on our website. This is Mornings at the Cabin. The news is next. Big ass news.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
Mornings at the Cabin, where we keep it real. And we're about to have real talk here. There's a serious discussion that needs to be had. It's 8:33. If you're just walking to work, then please join us for this important national debate, which Lekter is about to introduce.
Well, it all stemmed from a little post on a Facebook group called Milkman Unlimited. For those who don't know, Milkman Unlimited is essentially a radio community group started by a former DJ in Ottawa who now runs a station very similar to Cabin Radio. It's called blasttheradio.com if you want to check that out.
This is for radio nerds.
This is very interesting stuff for all of you. His name is John Milkey, and yes, he runs a radio community group. And we'll often post topics like, things that just kind of grind the gears of radio people in general or general interest topics, that sort of thing. So yesterday, he posted on his page in capital letters, Arctic, not Arctic.
Which we can all get on with.
We can all get on board with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So far, 1 for 1.
So 1 for 1. And I mean, it's common in radio that in commercial voiceover, sometimes things are pronounced not the same in different areas, but that's one we can all get behind. Arctic, not Arctic. We were saying off the air, we're like, well, Milky, if you want a list of pronouncers of names of places up here, yeah, we could go all day with this.
Yeah, it almost needs to be sort of day one of training for anyone in broadcasting in the Northwest Territories is to basically be taken into a studio and told, right, you see these names? learn to pronounce these names.
That's right. Yeah.
And I still don't think I'm perfect by any stretch.
No, God, no.
You know who I was listening to? Lauren McGuinness yesterday reading the weather forecast when I went over to CBC Studios.
Yeah.
Lauren has clearly really worked at that.
Yeah.
His pronunciations were on point, certainly from my point of view anyway.
Right.
And I was really impressed that he got through 35, 40 different places back to back with just on-point pronunciations of all of them. I was a little envious.
Uncle Lauren.
I stood there and I watched. I was like, oh, I wish I was as good as that.
Consummate professional.
Yep, no kidding. So, all right, we've done Arctic and Arctic. We can get on board with that.
So, yeah, Chapter 1, Arctic, that concluded. And then I was scrolling down the comment section, looking at other things that people have issues with, people pronouncing wrong. Manslaughter, not manslaughter, being one. I was like, okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That works.
Man's laughter.
Yeah, man's laughter. Yeah,
don't call it man's laughter. That's weird. Yeah, okay.
Call it that. And then one a little bit later on that grinded my gears and grounded yours the opposite way. Tuesday or Tuesday? Someone posted with a emoticon.
Tuesday.
Why?
Because that's the pronunciation of the UES. It's a choose. There's a like this drives me up the wall, Scott.
Okay. So
let me take as a slightly different example, but as one that I just can't even say with a straight face. Puma. Like no, it's a puma. It's a puma. It's not a puma. It just sort of like when you say puma, it just sounds like it's bursting out on you and like trying to surprise you with a merry dance.
Yeah.
Puma.
That one I agree with you. I think I don't say Puma or Puma that often, but I think I am more inclined to pronounce it Puma.
That's because it is Puma. It's Tuesday, Puma. It's a Puma Tuesday.
Okay, but why does the T just get thrown out the window when you pronounce
Tuesday?
Because
it's a T-y sound, so it's Tuesday.
It's a T-y sound? What does that mean?
Tuesday. Tuesday.
No, the T makes a T. It always makes a T.
And the U makes a Y because it's a U.
It makes it
Tuesday.
It can make an oo. U's are very versatile. Tuesday. And when it has a E behind it.
Can we, I'm looking at my imaginary production booth, can we just clip him saying Tuesday? And just have that as a standalone piece of audio to be deployed at any... Next, Jesse, if you're listening in bed right now, next Tuesday, please deploy that early on in the show to let people know what day it is.
You just said it the right way.
Tuesday.
But you didn't say Tuesday.
No,
some
and
people say Tuesday.
I'll grant you that if you go full slack-jawed yokel, then yeah, you're going to get, all right, Cletus, it's Tuesday. No, it's probably Americans are going to Tuesday. It's even worse. But yeah, all right, if you fully like disavow control of your jaw, then yeah you get the Tuesday.
After Monday comes Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. That's again. Could you just keep talking? Because I feel like you're producing your greatest hits of audio right now. So okay,
but you're somewhere kind of in between. You're like Tuesday,
okay,
which is fine. I can deal with that. If you want to throw a U on the U instead of a ooh, Tuesday, that's okay. But Tuesday, some people legitimately, they like you say, lose control of their jaws and go straight up Tuesday.
What about
drives me nuts.
What about the fish? Is it tuna or tuna?
I go tuna. There's no E after.
Absolutely dead to me.
Hey, you're disobeying your own rules.
I'm not disobeying. I talked about the U. I never talked about the E.
But the E makes it go U instead of ooh, does it not? Or I guess it goes ooh instead of
Listen to all those people tuning out.
Tuning out?
Very good. You see, now you're on board.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca.